Before we had language, before we had instruments, really, before we even knew how to tell a story, there was just a sound. A primal hum offered in the dark from one heartbeat to another. Okay, let's dive right into this, because that simple sound, it might just be the most powerful song ever created.
Just think about that for a second. What if the very first song wasn't for war, or for a big celebration, or even for worship? What if it was just a melody, born from the most basic human need there is, to soothe a tiny, vulnerable child? That's the huge question we're tackling in this explainer. And the answer? Well, it kind of rewrites the history of music. It suggests our first artistic spark was actually an act of care.
And you know what? We have biological proof of this instinct. It's called parentis. And this is not just some cutesy baby talk. No, this is a hardwired global phenomenon. Doesn't matter if you're in Tokyo or Toledo, parents all over the world instinctively raise the pitch of their voice, they slow down their tempo, and they create this little melody. It's the very first music we ever understand, way before we can grasp a single word. So this instinct to sing to our kids isn't new. In fact, it's about as ancient as it gets. For thousands and thousands of years, that melodic voice wasn't just about comfort. It was a literal tool for survival, a shield woven from sound that echoed through the darkest nights of human history. How ancient are we talking about? Well, the oldest lullaby we have ever found was etched into a clay tablet 4,000 years ago in ancient Babylon. Let that sink in. 4,000 years. That's a song that has outlasted empires, languages, and entire civilizations. It's incredible.
And when you read the words from that tablet, it's actually shocking how modern they feel. Little one who dwelt in darkness, now you've come and seen the sun. May you settle into slumber, sweet as plum wine, deep as love. The fears, the hopes, the overwhelming love, it's all right there. It feels like it could have been whispered just last night. And you have to understand, across these ancient cultures, lullabies had a much bigger job. In a world full of danger, a lullaby was a survival tool to keep a baby quiet so predators wouldn't find them. It was a protection spell, calling on gods like Isis in Egypt to watch over the child. It was a prayer against sickness and evil spirits. It was, in the truest sense of the word, armor made of song.
But this isn't just some beautiful idea from ancient history. Today, modern science can actually measure the profound biological power of a lullaby. It literally acts as a physical tether between two nervous systems, calming both the parent and the child in a way that is, well, it's nothing short of miraculous. So what's actually going on inside a baby's brain when they hear a lullaby? Well, it's not just passive noise, it's a full-on neurological workout. It's stimulating the parts of the brain for sound, for emotion, for memory. It's boosting oxytocin, that's the love hormone, while at the very same time it's lowering cortisol, the stress hormone. A lullaby is literally teaching the infant brain on a chemical level to expect safety from that voice.
And it gets even wilder. Scientists have a name for this process: co-regulation. As a parent starts to sing, something incredible begins to happen. First, their breathing starts to even out. Then the child's breathing follows suit. And then their heart rates literally begin to synchronize. Two separate bodies, one shared rhythm, all conducted by one simple song. It's amazing.
The effect is so measurable and so dramatic for everyone involved. If you look at cortisol levels, right, the stress hormone, they're high for both the parent and the child when there's just quiet fussing. But the moment the parent starts singing a lullaby, look at that, those levels plummet. This isn't just about soothing the child, it's a shared dose of calm for the singer too. Which, of course, brings us to a very modern problem. If this ancient biological tool is so powerful, so fundamental to who we are as a species, why are we losing it? Why, in a world that's filled with more noise than ever, has our own voice gone so quiet when it's time for bed?
Well, the answer is pretty obvious, right? It's technology. But here's what we lose in that trade-off. Live singing is an active connection. It's where that heartbeat synchronization happens. It carries your unique emotion. Recorded audio, on the other hand, it's just passive listening. It's convenient for sure, but there's no biological sync. It is one-way communication in a moment that was designed to be a two-way connection.
And this has totally reshaped our bedtime routines. You can see it right here. The space for a parent's own voice is becoming vanishingly small. It's just getting crowded out by white noise machines, sleep apps, and Spotify playlists. We've started to outsource one of our most intimate and powerful rituals. Now, this brings up a huge fear for a lot of us, and I get it. But what if I'm not a good singer?
The beautiful, beautiful truth is that it has nothing to do with performance. Your baby doesn't care if you're a Grammy-winning artist or if you're totally tone-deaf. They just care about your voice, your presence, your heartbeat. You don't have to be a good singer. You just have to be their singer.
Because a lullaby is so much more than just a sleep aid, it's a vehicle for culture. It's a story, a prayer, a piece of your family's history, all passed down through a melody. It's like a cultural seed that you plant in your child's soul, connecting them to generations of people you may have never even met. And in the end, that's what's left. That's the legacy. The specific words, yeah, they might fade over the years, and the exact melody might get a little fuzzy, but that feeling, that deep, resonant hum of safety and of love, that remains. It becomes a part of who we are. So we end with a question that brings this whole ancient practice right into your home right now. It could be a song you remember from your own childhood, or maybe one you just make up on the spot. It really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the answer to this. What song will you sing tonight?